Welcome back to the channel. Wait, what? Oh, that's better. Welcome back, guys. This is V-Twin Revolution, your source for all Harley-Davidson information. So, have you ever been this guy? Well, that was me back in October. I was running down the interstate at about 120 mile an hour for about 10 to 12 miles. Went to pass a car, and old Dyna finally let go. So we are going to do, this is going to be a series. This is part one, Carnage and the Teardown. So you guys get to see what I'm seeing. Well, I mean, I've already torn the front cylinder down, but you guys get to see what the front cylinder looks like. We get to tear into the cam compartment, get this thing out. I've got a new crank. Well, I have a bad crank that I'm sending off to A1 Cycles, trued, welded with a nice set of Carrillo H-beam rods so that we can go back together with this thing and have a gnarly dyno once again. So with that said, let's dive in. So this Dyna gets rode hard and put away wet a lot. And she decided she'd had enough. So here we are. You guys get to see some carnage, what a real destruction looks like. I mean, this is bad. This is as bad as it gets. This is as bad as I've seen it in a while, but my grandfather always told me, if anyone could tear up a steel ball, you could. So on tonight's agenda, what we're going to do is we're going to get the rear cylinder torn down. We will get the cam cover off, the rider footrest, the brake arm. We'll get the primary cover off, kind of get all of this situated to where I can just pull this bottom end out, and that will be part one. I want us all to be surprised here. So far, not so bad. Oh, there's a lot of metal in there, guys. We'll keep on digging. So let's get the rear cylinder off. It's not bad. There's lots of oil in it. Skirts are eat up. All right, let's get the cams out. Now, I'm actually pretty genuinely surprised that this cam is not beat up any more than it is. I mean, it's really not. You could probably rerun it, but I'm not going to, because this cam has actually been updated. It's got a little bit better cam timing specs. So, yeah, pretty impressed. A little bit of wear on the pinion. Not a lot though. And this oil pump actually survived. which is surprising. Lifters did. G-rotors aren't messed up. There's a ton of metal in this thing, guys. Woo! Wee! Yeah, I'm not sure if you guys can see that or not, but it did get the pump body just a little bit. For the most part, it's actually pretty impressed. I would have figured with an explosion like what happened here, well, 90% of it's all on the bottom end anyways, so. Yep, that's all trash. And I broke my tool, my reducer, so now I'm having to do everything old school, which is fine. It's the way I came up. I will say, like, I have been pretty fortunate in my career. When I first started back in 2004, I started at an hourly shop. And I really feel like that the hourly shop is what led to good practices when I made the transition to a flat rate shop. I take my time. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm looking at. It's not like, you know, your motorcycle comes in and, you know, my job is to get it in and out as fast as I possibly can, but yet now I get it in and out as fast as I possibly can, but I'm a lot more thorough. I feel like flat rate shops only breed, and I might get some hate over this, but also at the same time, like, there's a lot of truth in it. You know, flat rate shops, they breed bad habits. And, you know, if you've been fortunate enough or lucky enough to come up in an hourly shop, and that's not every technician, because, you know, I'm generalizing, and I probably shouldn't do that, because there's a lot of great flat rate techs out there. I've had the pleasure of working with some when I worked in Texas. Shout out to all my people in Texas. Man, I love Texas. I spent a year there in Houston, and it was just a awesome time. And I'm sure you guys really don't care to hear anything about this, but while I'm taking this stuff apart, kind of don't really have a choice, and you're kind of getting to know me, figuring out whether you want to subscribe to this channel or not, which, by the way, you should hit that like button and subscribe with a dirty thumbs up, because that's the way we roll around here. Dirty thumbs. These lifters look pretty good. Let's get this off of here. Yeah, so I'm sure you guys are tired. Let's get back to some action. You guys watching me just do my thing. All right, guys, so this is Harley-Davidson, or the Screaming Eagle lockup clutch, or throw out, or lockup, whatever you want to call it. And so because of any time that you have to work on the primary and you got to take the clutch basket off, trying to get this snap ring out in here is a complete, like, it's impossible. So what I do is I keep the stock pressure plate holder thing so that I can take this off, throw that back on real quick so that I can get this snap ring out. Because if you take the pressure loose off of the diaphragm, it will, like, and you go to try to bust the nut loose, it'll just spin. So you got to have pressure on that pressure plate or on the diaphragm spring. Yeah, that is a pressure plate. So I'm going to change that out and we'll finish getting the primary off. So once everything's loose, or now that everything's loose, we'll yank it out. Well, I'm gonna tell y'all what, this sucks. Pretty much. Whatever. It is what it is. Ain't no use crying over spilled milk, right? All right, guys, so that about wraps it up. And, you know, in this video, pretty much you just saw my bike in shambles. We took some things apart, saw some things. I don't know if maybe you might have gotten anything out of it, but in the coming videos, I do have a crank that is being sent over to A1 Cycles, newish set of cases. In that video, what we'll do is I'll show you the bearing replacement. So in the actual cases, got a lot of cool stuff coming on, like trying to get this bike moving so that, I'm not a Harley mechanic without a motorcycle. I mean, beat the living daylights out of it. So I don't know what I don't really expect any less, to be honest with you. Like, good friend that passed away always told me, if you treat your bike like a drag bike, you're going to work on it like a drag bike. And that's what we have. Thanks again, and I will see you on the next video.